tight week here in Atlanta as the Georgia Southern Eagles are coming to town to face your Georgia State Panthers. Now, it's definitely a rivalry. Some Eagles fans may tell you that it's not a rivalry, but it's definitely a rivalry. Now, it's not one that has some deep history, and so it's fairly new. But one thing's for certain, these fan bases, no matter what Georgia Southern fans try and say, because anytime they have a chance to take a dig at Georgia State, they're going to take a dig. If they get a win here, they're going to try and act a fool here. So don't let them tell you it's not a rivalry. But anyway, the fan bases don't like each other. The players don't like each other. The coaching staffs don't like each other. So it's definitely a rivalry here. And it's one that should be pretty good. Now, Georgia Southern came in here. They have new head coach Clay Helton, who was at USC last year. Got let go. Now he's at Georgia Southern. Southern already has a win against Nebraska this season. They got Scott Frost fired. So they're probably feeling pretty good about themselves. The defense, though, not so great. Panthers rushing offense is pretty good, ranking top 30 in the country. I think it's top 20, actually. So that's one thing to look out for in this game. An encouraging sign for the Panthers after a rough on-4 start to the season. They got a win last week against Army, and they ran the football fairly well. They had 299 yards on the ground. Both Jan Williams and Tucker Gregg both ran for over 100 yards. So that's going to be a key to this game. Now, against Army, they also got the passing game going as Darren Granger was able to connect with a deep shot to Ja'Kias Crater towards the end of the game, kind of putting the game away for the Panthers. After it got a little bit shaky, they got to a hot start in the first half, slowed down in the second half until pretty much 3 minutes left to go in the game. They scored a couple of offensive touchdowns and sealed the deal. One of those touchdowns was from Tucker Gregg, who became Georgia State's all-time leader in rushing touchdowns with 20 in his career. So congrats to him for setting that mark. Now, one thing that I was really impressed with last week was the defense. They finally stepped up in the game this year. I mean, there have been plenty of times where the Panthers will get a score on offense, they take a lead, and the defense will give up a touchdown. Right after the Panthers just scored a touchdown, taking away all the momentum of the offense that just got the team. So there's several times the defense have done that in the year, but this time they stood up. They only allowed 14 points to a primarily good rushing attack in Army. No matter how good or bad Army is, they're going to run the football. And the Panthers actually got a goal line stand in the game that kind of helped seal the deal. So if they can do that this week, they can just play like they did last week, or even just play better than they have been up to this point in the season. I think they have a pretty good chance to win the game. Now, like I mentioned, Southern are going to definitely want to come in and put a damper on the Panthers season. They're definitely going to want to try and end their chances at a bowl game, because at 1-4, if you go to 1-5, you still got to play App State, you got to play ODU and James Madison. 3 really good teams. The Panthers likely won't make a bowl game. So this is pretty much a must-win game for the Panthers if they want to make it to a bowl game this season. So right now, I think the Panthers are going to win just because they ran the ball last week, and Southern is not good against the run. So that's one thing the Panthers have an advantage here at. It's a rivalry, so you can always throw out the records in a rivalry no matter what either team is doing. That's one thing you can count on. The last 2 matchups, 2020 and 2021, came down to the final minutes in the fourth quarter. The Panthers were able to make plays in both of those games to get the victory. Actually, last year came down to like the final minute or so, and Jan Williams scored a touchdown late in Statesboro to get the win. So I kind of expect that to happen again. This week it's going to be a tight game. Both teams are going to play really hard, but in the end, I think the Panthers will get the victory against the Eagles.